held by the BJP. We are shifting our focus now to some big breaking news coming in. These are live visuals, of course, of Prime Minister Narendra Modi with his Australian counterpart, Mr. Albanese. We've seen yesterday a cricket diplomacy, soft diplomacy between the two leaders, and today we are expecting that bonhomie to go further. Today, of course, is the day when bilaterals will be held between the two countries. It's going to be a very interesting watch. Right now, we are seeing, of course, Prime Minister Narendra Modi and Mr. Albanese all smile, shaking hands in front of the camera. Earlier, we had seen them, or rather, Mr. Albanese get guard of honor. It's going to be a very, very crucial day. A lot of bilaterals are expected between the two countries, from defense to mineral procurement, boosting trade ties, etc. A lot more is going to be on focus. These are live visuals of the two leaders coming in from the Hyderabad house in the national capital. There you can see on your screen Prime Minister Narendra Modi with his Australian counterpart, Australian Prime Minister Anthony Albanese. Obviously, this visit is signalling a strengthened bilateral ties between the two countries. Yesterday, we had seen, a big show which had been put up by the two leaders when they indulged in some sort of a soft cricket diplomacy on the ground. And today we are seeing, of course, some concrete bilaterals. That's the expectations today. Those bilaterals are going to start very shortly. Both the leaders, Modi and Albanese, both have reached the Hyderabad house. My colleague Rishabh is on the phone line with us. Rishabh, yesterday we saw a cricket bonhomie of sort between the two leaders. Now we are seeing both Prime Minister Narendra Modi and Albanese at the Hyderabad house. Key bilaterals, of course, on the plate. Take us through what we can expect today.
So what we know right now that this is definitely one of the most important visits of an international leader to India this year, and what's all on table: trade, strategy, defense, renewable energy. All these sorts are on table. The most important one, the critical minerals, are also on the table. Remember, India and Australia have just signed and it has been enforced in December 2020 the trade relations between India and Australia. That will be taken forward in the major strategic partnership that India and Australia share. Malabar becomes the major one. Australia is also part of Quad, and remember, Quad is India's ground where it showcases its international power. Apart from that, we have seen the soft diplomacy yesterday on the cricket ground. Since morning, we have seen the way Prime Minister Albanese has been accorded a ceremonial welcome at Rashtrapati Bhavan. Then he goes to Rajghat to pay homage to Mahatma Gandhi. This showcases India's soft power also. And as we have been discussing, that this is Narendra Modi's foreign policy, where Narendra Modi and his government ensure that the world looks at India as an important country, as an important partner. And that's where India showcases its soft power as well as military might and space power that India has become in the past one decade. So on the table today here at Hyderabad House, the Prime Ministers will discuss trade, defense strategy, as well as clean energy and critical minerals.
Well, absolutely. So we have some key bilaterals which are expected between the two.
In 2017, Australia was hesitant to join Quad or even Malabar exercises for that matter, fearing that it can wreck relations with China, or China might have a different opinion about it. But 2017 onwards, India and Australia have showcased a bilateral relation that is unprecedented. And this time around, China definitely is the elephant in the room if we talk about that. China has upped its defense budget to $225 million, and that is something that Australia is also worried about. And not only Australia, but the regional powers here in Asia as well, be it Japan, India, or Taiwan, they are also worried about it. So China remains the big elephant in the room that will be discussed. And in a way, India and Australia are showcasing their bilateral relation to ensure that China gets a right message from here. India is the only Quad member which shares the land boundary with China, and it is disputed as well. We have seen skirmishes in Galwan as well as Tawang.
Absolutely, and this is very, very significant that bilaterals, of course, between the two leaders, between the two countries, will be watched very, very closely, not just, of course, by us in India here, but it also has Beijing on the tenterhooks, which is also going to be watching all the developments here very closely. Thank you, Rishabh, for joining us with all these details. With that, we'll step into a short commercial break. News and updates on the other side. Don't go anywhere.